A diver demonstrates how he took photographs of the wreck of the Royal Navy submarine HMS Thetis by strapping a Leica camera inside his helmet and holding the trigger between his teeth. Abraham Lincoln, before and after the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. So somebody fell from a bridge, and it happened in Boston during the 1930s. Rosalind Russell is riding a bicycle on the set of The Trouble with Angels from 1966. A young man is gloriously delivering ramen in 1935. The embalmed body of Julia Pastrana, who died in 1860. Germany surrenders, New York, 1945. The first flight simulator was invented in 1942. In 1894, Otto Lilienthal made his first glider flight. In 1947, customs officers patrol the checkpoints between the United States and Soviet sectors of Berlin. I just don't like Mondays. In the 1890s, women's bathing suits were a lot different. They were made of dark, heavy wool and covered almost everything. The suits had long sleeves and came down to the knees. Some even had bloomers. Women also wore stockings and bathing shoes. Santa delivers presents to the children of an adoption home in London, 1931. During the 1930s, a bank robber named Pretty Boy Floyd was known for destroying mortgage papers during heists, freeing hundreds of people from property debt. Around 1968, a 2-year-old is spreading her paint liberally during an art class in London for young children. A woman is about to snatch a kid from the water with a net at Rockaway Beach, New York, in 1958. Adolf Hitler in Paris, June 23, 1940. The 1930s, a Turkish fisherman returns with his booty. There's an American paratrooper in North Korea, 1950. Maureen Murray, number 18, from Alexandria, Virginia, won the local Princess Diana lookalike contest. It took place at the Champion Sports Bar in Washington, D.C. on November 5, 1985. Enzo Ferrari in his first ever race as a professional driver, driving for CMN, that's Costruzioni Meccaniche Nazionali. It was the Parma Poggio di Berceto hill climb race in 1919. He finished 4th. A woman leans over the railing to kiss a British soldier returning from World War II in London 1940. Belgian troops are standing with their dog-drawn cannons on their way to the Western Front in 1914. The Eiffel Tower during the liberation of Paris in 1944. There's a 14-year-old crying over a body. It's Jeffrey Muller, and he was shot by the Ohio National Guard in 1970. An Egyptian street vendor is selling mummies in 1865. So we've got someone dressed as the Michelin Man, and this was before the 1920s. The parents are with their deceased daughter, posed for a post-mortem photo. Martin Luther King Jr. and Marlon Brando, 1968. There's a man, and he's in profile. He's got a large, deformed nose, and apparently it was diagnosed as being caused by hypertrophic acne. The photograph was taken by Félix Meilleux around 1900. The Autogyro, an early plane-helicopter hybrid, is taking off in front of the US capital, Washington, D.C. in 1936. Loggers stand beside the massive Mark Twain redwood felled in California, showing the scale of these towering trees. This was in California, 1892. There's a group of hungry people. They're all together in a restaurant. They're eagerly waiting for their food. One person is reading a menu. Another is looking at their friend, who is looking at their phone. Someone else is sitting at the table with their arms crossed. The table is set with napkins, forks, knives and plates. A girl is doing the Lambeth Walk, a popular dance craze of the late 30s. This is an unusual canvas. It's a black and white image of a woman with her back to the viewer. She's standing in front of a building. It's a vintage photo. The woman is wearing a dress and she has a hat on. She's holding a purse. Here's a class photo of Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg. Back then it was called Leningrad, around 1960. Pride and joy. A driver polishes his new streamlined lorry upon its arrival at Wembley, London. The lorry is mounted on a Commer 2-ton chassis, 1930s. One of two drivers trapped in the cab of a tractor trailer is pulled to safety by a rope on the Pitt River Bridge across Shasta Lake. This happened in Redding, California on May 3, 1953. A young Queen Elizabeth II at 18, capturing a moment from her early years before ascending the throne, 1944. The Beatles are giving a rooftop concert. You've got John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison and Ringo Starr playing. The crowd is all around watching, and there are bandmates there too. A wrongdoer is in a wooden stockade. His crimes are written for everyone to see. This is China, 1868. Kenny Baker as R2-D2 on the set of Star Wars, 1977. Here are some women at the Waldorf Hotel in New York City, 1945. Alright, so the description is about what one of the first physical versions of Mickey Mouse looked like, and it mentions Donald Duck too. Women are wearing the trouser skirt. It's the latest fashion in Paris in 1911. London in the 1920s. A policeman's in a London street giving directions to 3 children on a bicycle. The bicycle's specially made for 3 people. A humpmaster is in a Chicago and Northwestern Railroad yard, operating a signal switch system, Chicago, Illinois, December 1942. Monaco, 1937. Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. Peasant women, 1910. The weight of one wooden bucket of water is about 15 kilograms. Four unidentified flying objects glowing in the sky at 9:35 a.m. on July 15th, 1952 in Salem, Massachusetts. Tuberculosis patients of St. Thomas Hospital are relaxing in their beds under the open sky by the Thames. You can see the Parliament building in the background. This was in 1936. Alright, let's talk about some lovely photos of young Dolly Parton with her husband. During World War II, babies in England were fitted with baby-sized gas masks that were comically large. The Sponge Merchant, New York, 1923. A baby lamb snuggles up to a sleeping boy, March 16, 1940. Nuns from the Order of St. Benedict are making a splash in the Pacific Ocean. They're vacationing at Greyland in 1960. Jug Reynolds performing atop the Landsborough Furniture Store on 9th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., 1917. A food truck serves meals on the go, showing the early days of mobile dining, 1919. There's a group of people from the Franklin High School band with a train. This happened in Snoqualmie Pass in January 1938. German and British pilots were in a dogfight above St Paul's Cathedral during the Battle of Britain in London in 1940. The oldest known documented wheelie, 1936. Diane Webber, 1953. A Maury man from the Hawke's Bay district, 1810. The Pied Piper shows his catch in the town square, Louise, Kentucky, 1953. "17-year-old Fidel Castro playing basketball in 1943. December 1940. Soldiers are on a street corner in Stark, Florida. It's a boomtown in the Defense District. A prospector is panning for gold during the Klondike Gold Rush. This is in the Yukon Territory in 1898. There's a huge, swollen blister on a person's back dating back to the 1910s. There's a crowd reading news about the D-Day invasion. It's on the Zipper news ticker at One Times Square in New York City, New York, USA. This was on June 6th, 1944. Granny Flasher, 1950s. A Ringling Brothers circus elephant is exiting a train car in 1963. Hours before its catastrophic crash in 1937, the German airship Hindenburg majestically flew over New York City, offering a glimpse of its grandeur. A British blacksmith is removing the leg irons off a slave. The year is 1907, off the coast of Mozambique. "15-year-old scout Vova Igorov, 1942. Billy the Kid, wearing a top hat, is with gang members Fred Waite, Henry Brown and Dick Brewer in 1777 New Mexico. Martin Luther King Jr., with his son, is pulling up a burnt cross from the front lawn of his Atlanta home in April 1960. Canyon de Chelly, 1904. She's got crabs. American troops are on Renault FT-17 tanks in the Argonne Forest, France, 1918. a skateboarder zipping through Central Park in the 1960s. The first Coca-Cola factory, 1889. July 12th, 1922. Bathing beauties are being arrested for defying a Chicago edict banning abbreviated bathing suits on beaches. Before he retired from baseball, the legendary Lou Gehrig auditioned for the role of Tarzan. They made him carry a spear and everything. A teenager is at an Elvis Presley concert at the Philadelphia Arena, soaking up the excitement of 1950s rock and roll culture. This happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on April 6, 1957. April 1955. Duke Ellington and band members are playing baseball in front of their segregated motel while touring in Florida. A Bulgarian bride and groom, 1893. American singer Al Johnson. He's portraying a black man on the set of the movie Bar of Wonders in 1934. There's a rocking stone in the Bronx Zoo in New York from 1895. Alright, let's talk about Balloon Boy. This is a story about a young boy, and he was on a mission. He was known to be quite the trickster and always played pranks. He was even known for creating elaborate plans. One day, he and his friends hatched a scheme to create the biggest surprise ever. They really wanted to make it spectacular. The plan involved a hot air balloon, a basket, and all kinds of colourful decorations. They spent weeks preparing, gathering materials, and making sure everything was just right. On the day of the big reveal, they were ready to go. They put the basket under the balloon and secured it tight. The anticipation was building as they began to inflate the balloon. It slowly started to take shape, bigger and bigger. When the balloon was completely full, the group all looked up at it with wide eyes. It was ready to launch. The young boy and his friends looked at each other with a mix of excitement and a little bit of fear. Finally, with a big push, the balloon lifted off the ground, carrying the basket high into the air. They watched as it drifted away, a symbol of their clever plan. Life goes on. The grave of 3 German soldiers is on the Havel River, Berlin, 1946. There's a grinning child holding a kitten. This was in 1939. Scrappo, a mechanical scrap metal creation. It was made by the Marion County Salvage Committee in Salem, Oregon in 1942. Heinz Meixner escaped from East Germany by speeding through the famed Soviet border crossing, Checkpoint Charlie, after removing an Austin Healey windshield and letting air out of the tyres in 1963. Soldiers are shaking hands. It's a meeting on the Elbe River between American and Soviet troops in 1945. The patient's skin is burned in a pattern that matches the dark parts of a kimono they were wearing when the explosion happened. They survived the atomic bomb around 1945. (1954) National Council of Negro Women Committee. An unknown girl, and she's got a very serious expression on her face. A hotel rooftop pool in London, 1932,